In this video, we're going to take a look at the interface to Photos, basically how we get around the Photos app on the Mac. We'll take a look at some of the features that the Photos app offers, such as editing photos and sharing your photos in other lessons. But I first just want to show you how you get around the Photos app so you're familiar with the interface. Let's go to my Mac. So I'm in my Photos app. Over on the left, you're going to see we have a sidebar. This sidebar is where we find our different categories for our photos as well as our different albums. If we look here, you're going to see I have my library. This is where all of my photos are stored, in the library. Within the library, what I'm able to do is view all of my memories, all of my favorites. I can view photos with certain people in them. I can also view all of my photos in a map, as well as my recent photos that I've added or imported. Below that, I can see all of the photos of any devices that are plugged into my Mac. I have my iPad plugged into my Mac, so if I were to click on this, I'd see all the photos and I'd be able to import them into my Photos app. If I had a camera plugged into my Mac, I'd be able to see all the photos on that camera and import them into the Photos app. I can see all of my activity. These are all the photos that people are sharing with me or photos that I am sharing with other people. I can also see my shared albums. Below that, we have albums. Our first one here is media types. This is where I can select all of my videos, my selfies, my live photos, all the photos that I've taken with the portrait mode, any panoramas, any videos that I've used slow-mo with. So I'm able to select my photos by media type in this first section. Now below that, we also have my albums. These are what I would call traditional albums. I create an album and I can easily place any one of my photos from my library into that album. So it's more of a traditional photo album. And then at the very bottom, we have projects. With photos, we can create different projects. Now within photos, the only project that we can create are slideshows. So these two here are slideshows. With third-party apps from the App Store, you can create calendars and books as well. But you do have to go to the App Store to find an app that will help you with that. Once you do that, if you were to create a project, this is where you would find them. When we're looking at the toolbar here, you're going to see I have different categories here. I can view all of my photos by years, months, days, or all photos. So if I want to see all of my photos in my library, what I need to do is I need to go over to the left, make sure I'm looking at my photos here. I'm not looking at a category of photos such as my favorites. I need to look at all of my photos, and then we go over to all photos. So these are all of my different photos I have in my photos library. I can view them by day as well. When I click on days, the Photos app is going to organize them by day. So these are from September 3 of 2009. Now when you're looking at them by day, Photos highlights the best photos. So you're not going to see all of your photos from that specific day. To see all of the photos from that specific day, you have to go back over to your All Photos tab. When I scroll up, you're going to see that it's going to go to another day. And it does include videos here. You can see I'm looking at a video here. So this is an easy way to browse your photos by day. I can also do them by month. When I select month here, it organizes all of my photos by month. So here are my photos from March of 2012. I scroll up. These are all my photos from May of 2014. And if I want to open up any one of these, let's go over to September of 2014. What I do is I just click on this, and now I can see them by day. We can see that the tab went to days here. I want to see all of the photos, then I click on All Photos. I can also view them by years. I click on years, and now we can see them all by years. So here are all my photos from 2018. I just double click on it, and now I'm looking at them by month. I double click on a month here, I'm looking at them by day. And then if I want to see all photos, I can also just go to All Photos, and it takes me to that specific period and time. I can also select the size of my thumbnails. So when I slide this over to the left, It's going to make my thumbnails smaller. Slide it to the right, it makes them larger. Now this only shows when we're looking at all photos. If I were to switch over to months here, you're going to see that slider here disappears. It only shows when I'm looking at all photos. Also, we do have another option here. You're going to see I have this little tool here. This is where I can keep my full aspect ratio. Right now, all of my photos are the same size, or just a square photo. But when I click on this, what I'm able to do is see my photos in their original aspect ratio. I prefer them to be all the same size. And then when I double click on it, I can see the actual size. When you double click on a photo, it does open it up. So if I were to double click on this photo here, you're going to see that it opens it up. Once it's open, I can view various information about that photo, when it was taken, what camera it was taken with. I can also add any keywords and faces and assign it a location if there's not a location assigned to it already. I also can share the photo. I can favorite the photo, so then it's going to add it to my favorites here. I can rotate the photo in 90-degree increments, so I just click on this and we can see that it's rotating it in 90-degree increments. And then I also have auto enhance. When I click on this, the Photos app is going to take a look at the photo and enhance it based on its own algorithms. Depending on the quality of the photo, you may see subtle enhancements or you may see a lot of enhancements. This was taken with a good camera, so when I click on this, I'm going to click on it again. It's going to take the enhancements away. You won't see a lot of changes there. It does make it a little bit brighter, but overall it doesn't make too many changes. Again, this will vary depending on which camera you use. If you want to further enhance it with your own adjustments, maybe you want to crop it, or you need to straighten it, what you can do is you can go to Edit, and then you're able to make different adjustments. This could be color adjustments. You can adjust the curves. You can retouch it. You have noise reductions. You can sharpen it. We also have different filters that we can apply to it. And then we can crop and straighten it. Once you make all of your changes, you go over to Done, and any changes you've made will be applied to your photo or video. If you do not want to save your changes, you can revert it to the original. And then you can also have the Photos app make automatic adjustments. So if you're looking at a photo that is a little bit crooked, the horizon is a little bit crooked, the Photos app may be able to see that horizon and straighten it out for you by clicking on Auto. It doesn't work all the time, but it does work when there's a clear horizon there, as an example. I'm going to click on Done here, and any changes I've made would have been applied. If you want to get back to where you can view all of your days, months, years, or all of your photos, what you do is you click on the left arrow here. It'll take you back. Or when you're looking at a photo here, if you double click on it, it also brings it back. And now I can see all of my photos by years, months, days, or again, all of my photos. And then lastly, when you're looking at all of your photos, you can also filter them by going to the right here. It's a little bit hidden, but when I click on this, what I'm able to do is just show only my favorites, my edited photos. I can also just show my videos, and I can show a keyword manager. I can apply keywords to different photos. So that's how you get around the Photos app on the Mac. We basically have our sidebar on the left, and then across the top in the toolbar, we can also view our photos by years, months, days, or all photos. When we double click on a photo, we can edit that photo. To get back to where we can see all of our years, months, days, or all photos, we just double click on the photo and it'll bring it back to a thumbnail size. So that's how we get around the Photos app on the Mac.